What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 2 of the Blonde Blitz. I am your co-host, Nikki Gist, and I will bring in my other beautiful blonde bombshell, Deb Whitcas, who is my better half, actually, on this show. We are so happy that you guys are here with us. Hi, Deb. How are you?
Hi. How are you? Good. How are you?
Good. Are you excited for week 1?
I am beyond excited. I cannot wait to kick things off tomorrow night. We got KC and the Lions. Let's go.
I know. I'm so excited. I can't believe we're here, though.
I know. Like, I don't know about you. I mean, I'm sure after Super Bowl, I get in this like depression. USFL helps, XFL helps, but and then training camp obviously is fun.
Right.
And then we've got the preseason games, but it's preseason. Like,
Right.
It doesn't really count. Doesn't really matter. Like, now all the excitement and the hoopla, like, it's go time. So
it's go time. It's it's just so exciting. But then I'm like, God, the year went really fast.
it did. I feel like we just left Super Bowl too.
I know. Well, I think what it is when you cover the team and you're at camp in the spring and then you're covering all summer and you're around it, you just kind of like lose your sense of time. But we are so thrilled to be here for episode number 2. Blonde Blitz is brought to you by Underdog. So use promo code BLONDE and we will double up your first deposit up to $100. I mean, that's great because it's like house money. So you might as well give it a shot. Blonde Blitz, now that we are in season, we did our predictions last week, but just so you guys know, in season, we are bringing on guests every week. They're going to play pick 'em against me and Deb. We're bringing you our fantasy likes and dislikes. We're bringing you picks against the spread, and we're bringing you some best bets. And of course, our WTF DM and tweets of the week, which I got an interesting one for you guys this week. So
I can't wait to hear it. I've been hearing little tidbits about it all week, and I'm like, what is Nikki bringing on?
Yeah, and then because then I had to think about it, and then I have to like pose this question after I tell you guys what it is. So, all right, Deb, I know you got something up your sleeve for us to kick off the show.
Always do.
Okay.
Her NFL communications, today kicking it all off. Some stats here for some Super Bowl stats. History indicates that the best way for a team to start its drive toward a Super Bowl championship is to win in week 1.
Right.
Of course. I mean, the 57 Super Bowl winners have had a 46-10-1 record in the kickoff weekend games of their title seasons. So that's kind of a couple fun facts there. Do we have our producer Dan? Do we have that graphic or no?
No, we don't have the graphic.
No. Don't have the graphic. That's okay. What else do we have here? Since 2002, when the NFL expanded to 32 clubs, teams that are victorious in their season openers are more than twice as likely to reach the playoffs than those that lose the opening game. So yeah.
Is it fair to, because we hear this every year, Deb, like, oh, if you start 0-1, like that's it, your season's done. I know statistically you have a tough time, but so for everyone that panics, if their teams lose in week 1, I mean, are they justified in like hitting the panic button, or is it just way too early?
I mean, it's way too early. I mean, everyone makes their Super Bowl predictions like this week and also, last week. I think it's way too soon to tell. People freak out about preseason and everyone's like, wait, the preseason's just to get the roster set. You know what I mean? So I think winning the first game, I mean, there's 16 more. You know what I mean?
I know that there's some fan bases out there that they just go crazy because, their team lost. This is what I just think the first 4 weeks of the season are just preseason light. Like I just expect sloppy play. I just expect, I feel like everybody's getting used to it, right? The refs need to get in the groove. All these players, a lot of these rookies need to get in the grooves. I just have low expectations for the month of September.
Right. Well, and honestly, speaking of rookies, the NFL basically announced today that the league's first ever jersey patch program they created a program to recognize and celebrate each rookie's first game in the NFL. So now the rookies all will be wearing these special patches. So that literally just came out about an hour ago that's happening. So I think that's pretty cool too for the NFL to do that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. See, we give you breaking news here on Blitz.
We try.
Breaking news. Speaking of news, you have anything else for us?
I also heard Tom Brady, obviously first season without Tom Brady playing since 1999. He's not.
I think so. Yeah, I think I was in middle school.
Which, I mean, that's crazy to even think that. I mean, and there's some speculation that he's talking about a return. He was joking. He went on the Mannings posted their auditions. It was super funny, and he kind of hinted at, I might make a return. He was joking, guys. I mean, come on. But what isn't a joke is Tom Brady will be basically in attendance for the game against the Eagles and the Patriots, going back to his roots, in New England, and they're going to do a special little tribute for him during halftime. So should be super special about that as well. He said to go back to the stadium and bring my kids and my family in a different way. I'm going there as a fan, and I'm going to be there in the future as a broadcaster. So everything kind of is coming full circle for Tom Brady right now. Yeah, I'm interested to see him in the broadcast booth. Yeah, so am I. Because when you think Tom Brady, I have to say, I think amazing football player, amazing quarterback. Not so great. I mean, his personality-wise, I don't know. I don't see. I mean, but Tony Romo has done an amazing job as an analyst.
I love Romo. I don't know why so much hate. I love Romo. In the booth, yes.
But Greg Olsen too. I mean, Greg Olsen's amazing, and it's going to be interesting to see how Greg Olsen and Tom Brady thing work out. I think they're going to clash a little bit there. Yeah. But I mean, obviously, Greg did last year's Super Bowl. He had only he started XFL, broadcasting, and then went to NFL that next season. And I've always been a big fan of him, even when he played for the Panthers. So I followed him, and he's so great in the booth. I'm not convinced that Tom Brady's going to be that good in the booth, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I do love to look at him. So I think that, that's not going to be a bad sight.
And also, too, he has a year to learn. Like, he's in classes. He's studying. I mean, the man knows football, obviously, so he just has to get the on-camera part of it. And it's not easy, but I'm sure.
No, it's not. People think podcasting is easy. They're like, oh, Nikki, you just turn on the microphone and go. No, there's a lot of prep and promoting that goes into all of this, except last night when I was on the NFC East panel, I didn't prep for that. I basically just yelled. So,
I heard you. There's no heard a little cursing there too.
Oh yeah. I was so mad because, and you know what? This is a great lead into our guest. The Cowboys fans it's so many excuses year after year after year. Deb, every summer, do we not hear that the Cowboys have all this talent, right? And then they don't make it. Yeah, they choke in the postseason, and then the narrative is, oh, but Dak needs more talent. So I was just trying to figure out last night, which one is it?
Dak has had weapons around him every single season. Come on now.
Thank you. That was
Dak is the issue here.
Yes, that was my point. And this is a great segue. We are going to bring in our guest. We're going to send the house with none other than himself, Mr. George Teague, who loves to give me a hard time about these damn Dallas Cowboys.
I can't wait.
Oh! It's your claim to fame.
Well, don't think anything's going to change just because I'm talking to you now, because you guys got me shaking my head already about talking about the Cowboys.
I love it. Great way to start up a podcast.
Yeah.
What's up, George? How are you?
I'm doing great. Sorry about being a little bit late. Traffic got me going. I didn't even get time to really get set up here, so I appreciate it.
You're good.
Just for having me here. This is where I shoot my podcast from out here at this bar. So
Right.
I don't normally have
Last
my headsets on.
I did your show. You did it at that bar that you're at, and he ordered something. I don't know what it's called. Cheesy fry, something. I don't know. He ordered all his food, drank it. I mean, it was great. But
Wait, did you guys eat during the podcast?
no, I didn't because I'm in
I
Jersey.
did.
Did.
I'm at a bar. What do you mean? There's food and drink here. So,
But they have a great setup. Yeah, you guys have a great setup over there.
yeah, it's nice. So I do appreciate it, and I'm glad you guys set me up for victory in these picks that we're going to do a little bit later on.
Oh, we're setting you up for victory. All right, well, we'll see. You know you have to give us all your picks after the show.
Okay.
He's like, wait, what? You didn't tell us that. Well, we are going to get into the Giants and the Cowboys. That's why we had to have you on. It's the marquee game. But George, just before we jump into that, as a rookie, what does week one feel like?
It is nerve-wracking, if I can put that, especially as a rookie, because it's tough. It doesn't matter when you get drafted. There's a sense of nervousness, particularly if you're a high draft pick, that you got to be able to go out and show what you got. My awakening came actually the first preseason game back when we used to have to play in the games. And my first game was against the Raiders as a rookie, and they were all fast. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous that everybody on the field is moving like this as good as I thought I was." So, but your first game is nerve-wracking, but your first start is probably even more scary because that's the first time you got to be on the film session that next Tuesday or Monday when you're breaking down the film, and especially if you don't have a good one, it's not good.
Right. And George, so you were drafted Green Bay Packers in the first round, 29th overall in 1993. And obviously, you know what it's like to be a rookie. What are there any rookies that are going to be playing tomorrow, Thursday or this weekend that you're particularly excited to see on the field?
Are you meaning between our two teams or just in general?
In general, who are you excited about? Anyone?
I can't say that there's any other than, and this may sound like a little homer kind of deal, but I'm always interested in watching the quarterbacks. I want to see how good Bryce Young is actually going to be in the league. You can go CJ Stroud. It just, and when you're talking about, it's one thing for me. I might be able to take a play off or get subbed or something if you're a defensive back, a wide receiver, or something like that nature. But quarterbacks, once they name you the starter, I mean, they're going to be judged like no others. It doesn't matter who they're playing; they're going to be under a microscope. Right. So, all the quarterbacks, Bryce, you hear so much about him, good things so far. I don't know what Anthony Richardson is going to do up there. So I just feel for them guys. I have a little heart, I worry about their mental well-being after the first game if they don't play that well.
You're not excited for Jalen Hyatt on the Giants? You should be.
First of all, he went to Tennessee, so no.
And Bryce Young went to Bama, and I know you went to Bama. Roll Tide.
I know. That's good. That's what I said. It's a homer pick. I'm tired of these homer picks, George.
I won't lie to you. I'm just saying.
I know. I just gotta mess with you because you mess with me all the time. So. Well,
I'm gonna want to see since you bought that. What's the name of that corner you guys drafted first overall?
Thanks.
Yeah. So I want to see how he's gonna do against CeeDee Lamb or Brandon Cooks because I don't know. That could say a whole lot about him. Game one out the shoot.
Do you think there's a difference between your first game, let's say as a rookie? 1 o'clock kickoff and then Sunday night football, or a Monday night or a primetime game. Do you think there's a difference, or is it just nerves are nerves and it doesn't matter what time you're playing?
I would say there's a difference. Slightly, not drastically, because the first game, you just it's kind of hard to really put in someone's mind what it's actually really like to be on a football field in front of 80,000 people and you just assume all eyes on you, particularly when you're a defensive back and the ball's in the air. You know everybody's looking at you. So I don't know that matters if it's 1 o'clock or 7 o'clock. There's still a lot of pressure. But night games are different because there's not as many games on. So, you got more eyeballs on television now looking and judging at you. So there is a difference in that. So this Sunday night game for the rookies that are going to be playing will be, or even Thursday now for, anybody's playing with Kansas City or Detroit. It's going to be tough to handle because it's the psychological part of, okay, I really can do this, or man, I ain't ready.
Yeah, right. It's one or the other.
Right. Well, and George, talking about all eyes being on you, there's one play in particular, and we couldn't have you on the podcast without talking about this play about Terrell Owens back in the day. There was some trash talking on the field, and something kind of happened there. Kind of what led up to that hit.
Well, let me correct you. There was no trash talking. We were giving compliments about each other's mothers and stuff. Just good stuff. No trash in that. Just having friendly conversation. It just went bad. Because mama jokes don't work out too well after a while.
It started friendly.
It didn't start off really at all, to tell the truth, and it just kind of escalated a little bit. Once he started showboating a little bit, and that's okay. You score touchdowns. People always give you that. Hey, stop him if you don't want him to do it. All right, I get it. So if you can't stop him, then maybe you got to fight him. Whatever. So, once he went out there again the second time after we had a lot of conversations, I figured let's have a private conversation out in the middle of the field then. If you don't want to talk about it in another way. So, I don't regret it at all. I think it's a heated moment. Things happen, but it's not like I dislike him or anything, because I've been in controversial plays. It just, at that point, I just felt it's been a little bit too disrespectful of going out to the middle of the field twice. That's a little too much.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, it makes for a great highlight.
Exactly.
We just love to watch over and over. All right, let's get into these picks. We talked about Thursday night, so let's jump into it. Lions, Chiefs. Okay. I feel like this is what the Lions get for trending upward. You get to open against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think it's time. This is a big test for them. The Lions have to prove, can they do it? Are they for real? Is the improvements on the team real? For me, we're picking. I don't have that much faith in the Lions, and I know Travis Kelce probably might not even play. I think that's okay. I think Kansas City just has so much talent. It almost doesn't matter. What do you guys think? I think the Chiefs win. I'm going to go 33-23. I think they cover easily here.
I mean, I'm definitely going KC winning this as well. Even with Kelce questionable, I am a little worried that DT Chris Jones though is still holding out for negotiations. That's a huge blow to the Chiefs defense. The Lions offense, they had a record of like 8 30-point games last year. So I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still think KC's going to win there. But, the best way for the Lions to win, I think they have to keep Mahomes off the field, hit KC right where Jones normally plays. Detroit's also really good at play-action passing. So, Jared Goff led the NFL in play-action touchdown passes. He had 16 of them last year. So I think it'll be a great game. It's a great game for Thursday night to start off the season, but I think KC has this one.
Okay. I'm going to say that the Detroit fans need to pump the brakes a little bit on their expectations.
They're excited.
They are very excited. I think
Yes.
they just need to pump on them just a little bit, ride the brake light, whatever you got to do. Going a little bit too fast.
The Lions did have a great season though last year. I mean, so I see why they're excited. But
it was awesome. It was awesome. But for this game, I think you still got to remember Patrick Mahomes is still on his team. Andy Reid still coaches the Chiefs, and it doesn't really matter about the other piece because Patrick Mahomes, if you just watch the Netflix thing or whatever it was, he'll put the whole team on his back. It don't matter who he has out there or whatnot. And I think that although I love what the Lions have done, I'm not really trusting their running backs necessarily. Yeah, they got David Montgomery and they got my boy from Alabama too, Jamar Gibbs. I got it.
Yeah.
But I take Mahomes over Jared Goff any day, and I take Andy Reid as well. So I am taking the Chiefs. I do think they cover. And since you did give a spread, I really think it's going to be like 31. I like that number. 31-23. 31-23 Kansas City Chiefs.
All right. In terms of fantasy for this game, I think it's obvious you can play Mahomes, right? I even think that you'd be okay playing Goff because what I think is going to happen is you're going to play from behind most of the game, right? So I think he's going to rack up, his attempts and passing yards. And yeah, I think Gibbs might have a good game. I think he's going to feast on some checkdowns there. Don't like Kadarius Toney. He's probably going to be on a snap count, right? Let's not forget he just came back from knee surgery. So be a little wary of that. You guys have anything fantasy wise to weigh in on this matchup?
I mean, David Montgomery, I think he's going to do well as well. I think him and Gibbs together, similar to Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift, I feel like. So that's my thing.
And I'm going to say you can never forget about, Monte Brown a little bit. I think they're going to have to try to feed him the ball some. I know that would be an obvious one, but your sneaky one might be Jahmyr Gibbs, as you said, because of takedowns, and he can run the ball after out of the backfield. It's going to be interesting to see him. The only other one is how Goff uses tight end. But other than that, that's all.
All right, so we are in lockstep there. All right, let's jump to the Niners and the Steelers. Deb, kick this one off.
Oh, okay. So the Steelers have won 3 straight opening weekend games, including 2 road upsets. So 2021, they traveled to Buffalo, stunned the Bills, winning 23-16. Last year, they opened the year they forced 5 turnovers and a win at Cincinnati. I mean, Mike Tomlin has his team, ready for season openers, obviously. So, I mean, but then on the other hand, you've got the 49ers.
Right.
So, I mean, have we seen a team? I mean, the team's built like a brick shit house. You know what I mean? It's a great team. I mean, best running back, McCaffrey. Top tight end, obviously dealing with a groin injury, Kittle right now, but left tackle, Trent Williams, pass rusher, Nick Bosa, literally just signed a contract today, like literally a few hours ago. He's making like a 5-year, $170 million deal they just made with him. I was waiting for that to come through. And then obviously linebacker, Fred Warner. So yeah, I mean, they're stacked. So, I mean, throw in Deebo Samuel there as well. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird to say, but my most concern there is their quarterback. You know what I mean? He's pretty ready. He's coming off an injury. Sam Darnold can be off or on. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go 49ers. Steelers may cover though. So
all right.
What do you think?
Right. I like Pickett. I do like him. I just don't think I like him against the Niners, who are a really good West Coast team that goes East Coast. So, I think Brock Purdy just has a better system around him right now. I'm going Niners, and I think they cover. I have a 22-17. Mr. T, what say you?
All right. Well, people are saying Brock is the Rock, Mr. Irrelevant, coming in, doing all kind of things, making things happen. You guys mentioned that, all the dudes and the studs that they have, McCaffrey and all those guys, so it makes it good. But what I do want to say is that Brock, I don't know that he's necessary to play the defense like the Steelers and Mike Tomlin and having time to really prepare and get for them. Now, is Kenny Pickett really proven? Can he improve over last year? I don't know, but Najee Harris, he's got to be able to run the ball. That's the same way. Deontay Johnson, he's got to show up, and George Pickens, they all got to show up, right? So this is at home for the Steelers, and Deb said it the best. Just Mike Tomlin, the atmosphere, the history of winning the first game. I am picking the upset, ladies. I am going to win this game at home by 2 points.
Okay.
23-21. Steelers shock the world on Sunday.
Shock the world.
By the way, Nikki, I was going to say real quick. By the way, I picked this the Steelers defense for our fantasy. So.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I'm glad that you said that.
All right. Let's talk about a fantasy matchup I don't like here. I don't think I like Najee Harris against the Niners defense. Last year, the Niners allowed only 2 players to rush for 60 yards. So they are a stingy defense. Don't think I love Najee Harris this week. You guys got anything else on fantasy for this matchup?
No, I think I would agree with that. They're too strong up there to really try to run. It's going to be interesting to see if they try to use him out of the backfield and things of that nature. But Kenny's going to have a safety blanket in Pat Fryermuth, or however you say his name. So that'll be interesting to see there. On the other side, we talk about those other guys, the Deebo Samuels, but I'd be starting Ayuk. He's going to be on fire, I think, for them because they're going to be doubling other guys.
Yeah. All right. Love it. Let's move on to the Dolphins and Chargers for this matchup. All right. So Chargers, and Deb covers them, so she can obviously correct me here, but I feel like they got a lot of receiving depth, right? And everyone's been singing the praises of Justin Herbert now under Kellen Moore, which maybe now Cowboys fans can stop blaming him for everything, right? You guys can find another excuse. That would be great. Okay, perfect. We'll see what it is this year. But Miami's offense looks ready to explode again. So I'll say this: Miami didn't play well against the Chargers last season, and this is a hell of a road trip for the first game, right? You got to go all the way out west. I think the Chargers win and cover. I have it 35-31, and I obviously like the over at 51. So, Mr. T, what do you got?
All right, well. It seems like every time we talk about, there's Alabama guys on there. What's up with that?
Wow, God, like I don't know. It's like they're a factory or something.
Nikki said something is interesting about last year's game, that the Dolphins didn't play that well. Tua didn't play very well at all. 10-28, whatever, 145 yards or something like that. It was god awful. And Herbert. He lit it up, almost 400 yards, 360 something yards passing or whatever it was. So I think the Dolphins are better. I think they're just figured it out that he's going to have to get the ball to Waddle and Tyreek, and I think Tua is going to be better. I think they're just well coached, and it's going to be a better football game. But I do not think Miami is going to make it. I think it'll be a closer game than what it was last time. But I think the Chargers still win and they cover because they just got too many guys. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, man, there's too much going on out there.
Keenan Allen, yeah. I mean, watching Herbert and Keenan Allen connect in training camp is one of the most beautiful things I've seen. And I'm an Eagles fan at heart. That's what's funny. So yeah, I mean, and just to throw out another stat, I'm stat girl. The Dolphins are 31-25-1 all time in season openers, and have won 4 of their past 6 and 7 of their past 10. So I think it's going to be a really good game. They both are, featuring high flying offenses, which both of you have just said. Love me some Tua when he's healthy. Please pray no more concussions this season, because that was horrible. Apparently he spent this season learning jiu-jitsu in order to help him fall and absorb contact to avoid injury. So hopefully that's going to help. I mean, Miami, we got obviously, Tyreek Hill, Waddle. You guys already said it. I think they're going to even improve this year. Tyreek's looking at 2,000 receiving yards.
Yep.
So I mean, it's gonna be a game. Was Vic Fangio? Is that how you say that? The defensive coordinator.
Fangio.
Yeah. I mean, he's he was on sabbatical last year, but he's back. And he specializes in using linebackers. So I mean, that could give Austin Eckler a run for his money for sure. Interesting enough, Vic was Brendan Staley's mentor too, so he might have his number. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, Chargers. Obviously, I cover them. I feel I don't know. I feel like they're the stronger team here, but maybe that's because I cover them. I mean, so Herbert, Keenan Allen, Eckler's back. Love Kellen Moore. We'll see. But
Chargers for you, Deb? Chargers?
Yeah, I didn't do scores for this one, but
okay.
I'm rambling now.
Fantasy wise, I feel like it's take your pick, right? Eckler, Tua. I mean, you really just offensively can take your pick. I just don't like defenses against high powered offenses. So I don't know that I'm starting the Chargers defense.
No, don't do it.
George said don't do it. All right, let's jump to Eagles Patriots. Go ahead, Deb. Give it to us. Come on.
All right. The Eagles are rightful favorites to win the NFC again this season. I feel like. I mean, powerhouse team. What's George say? What did George? You say something?
No, I didn't say anything. I'll wait for you to.
It's okay. You can say something. Most of the vets stayed. Obviously, we lost some coaches. We replaced them. I feel like the Eagles won the draft, upgraded a defense. But, I mean, hopefully I worry about that Super Bowl hangover, though. I mean, even though the Eagles didn't win, we'll see. Mm-hmm. Especially when they open. We'll see. I'm not sure. I mean, they should have this game, but they're a more talented team than the Patriots, but Patriots might surprise us.
Okay, so no, I don't like saying a whole lot of good things about the Eagles.
That's fine.
So I'll start with something good about the Patriots because I think their defense is pretty solid. You can never give up on Belichick and what he's trying to do and what wrinkles he might try to put in there. I think he's going to try to slow the game down on offense too, because he knows that the Eagles do have a high-powered offense and can beat him in a lot of ways. But Belichick is a mastermind. Trying to figure out. I still can't believe that he ran the ball 100% of the times or whatever game that was a couple of years ago, in that snowy game. But anyway, so they got some pretty good guys. Some safeties, some D linemen up front that might be able to do some things. But Jalen Hurts, dang it, there's another Alabama guy.
Oh my God. It should have been Jalen. Take a shot every time we mention an Alabama player.
So but you know what? He's a serious weapon. Run and pass. I think the receiving core that he has they're better than Devontae Parker. They're better than Juju Smith. You got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. which, by the way, is another Alabama guy. He's going to be throwing to.
There's not Waka in here.
I know I hadn't even got started with mine yet.
You haven't started yet.
So I'm going to say that the Eagles win. They cover. Yeah, I think they beat them by 10 points. I didn't even put it there. I think it's not, 4 is – I know they're trying to keep it down a little bit because that's Patriots, but I think it's just too much to handle. And it's not a really, really high-scoring game, but I would say something like 29-19, something like that, some ugly number. But they beat them by 10 points.
Yeah, this is a tough assignment for the Patriots. I'm with you guys, though. You got to give them credit for their tough defense. I'm not going to take that away from them. I just think they're just going to be outmatched by the Eagles. I've got it Philly 30, Pats 22. So obviously I like Eagles to win and to cover in terms of fantasy. Pick an Eagle, any Eagle. Pick any Eagle you want. It really doesn't matter. And, I just don't like anyone against the Eagles defense. So I would say sit anybody on the Patriots. I don't know who you would have going, actually, but just sit.
And I say shout out to Mac Jones, too, just because he went to Alabama, too. I think he's going to lose.
Oh, my God. No, you can't give him shout outs. You use them all up. That's it.
This is because he went to Alabama, too. I'm just saying.
I was good to say didn't they Bill O'Brien? He was the offensive.
Bill O'Brien just came from Alabama, too, so he's up there. We got Alabama folks all over the place, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, so he's a massive upgrade over whatever the Patriots were doing last season, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to strategize and give him something to make him a little bit more successful because Mac Jones struggled a lot last year. I hate that he has to go against the Eagles defense right out of the chute with the lack of talent, in my opinion, that he has out there on the edges. So it's going to be a rough one. You're going to have to try to run. Stevenson. All right, so here's a ball. I think Ezekiel Elliott does have one touchdown.
Okay. All right. We'll put that on here.
We'll see.
Yeah. All
right, then. All right. Let's get to the marquee matchup here because I know George has to jump to get on his show too. So let's do it. Giants Cowboys for like the 100th year in a row on Sunday Night Football. George, go ahead. Kick it off for us. What do you got?
Oh, okay. I wasn't even going to listen to what y'all was saying because I know y'all about to start a whole bunch of I know y'all was going to start with some nonsense. So I'm going to go ahead and tell all you fans the truth about this kind of stuff because it is a good matchup. All right, I will say that. I like the matchup. The running backs are really good. Pollard and Barkley, I think, will be having some fantastic games. They're just tremendous people. Where I think people are going to miss on this is because Mike McCarthy's going to show y'all something different because we got a new play caller in this. And I heard you guys talking about, talent and all this kind of stuff that maybe the Cowboys had. I think this is going to come down to a little bit of coaching in this standpoint that I think Mike McCarthy gives us an advantage in that sense. Dak is going to outplay Danny Dimes as well. Don't be sighing on me.
I'm just listening. I'm listening.
I appreciate your patience and treating your guests right on here.
Yeah. Just letting you have the floor. Yeah.
And our wide receiver crew overall, I'd rather have ours than yours. And just because I have to keep it alive, just because about some Alabama something.
Yeah.
Diggs outside will be able to shut down whoever they need to put him on. Listen, you guys got a wide receiver named Paris.
Yeah.
Spelled with 2 R's. Come on, man. We got some issues with that, right? You got Isaiah Hodgins, who's gonna have on some Huggins because he's gonna be shitting all over himself because he ain't gonna know what's happening with them safeties and the people are all up in his grill, right? Darius Slayton is about to get slayed because we got another corner on the other side who it don't matter where y'all put him at. Y'all can't hide him, right? Our defense is going to be coming after you guys. So the Dallas Cowboys go up to New York, cover. It is going to be a good game. I think it's going to come down to the end. But I think our boys got playing with a little chip on their shoulder, and they win by 5. We win by 5. All right, I'm done. Now let me hear y'all's stuff.
All right. Okay.
Nikki,
Here's the
all
thing.
you. All you, girl.
I think I'm objective. I think that's one of the things people always do say they like about me. And I'm not super homer. I will be objective here. I think the Cowboys and the Giants are similar in that they're going to try to balance this run game with their wide receivers, right? Because we saw that was out of balance a little bit for the Cowboys last season too. So, I'm not saying we have the greatest wide receivers, but Daniel Jones did get a pretty massive upgrade from what we had last season. Our wide receiver room just got a whole lot faster. Oh, by the way, watch out for, Darren Waller. Although as much as I love him, I don't love him in fantasy this matchup because the Cowboys ranked 4th best against tight ends. So, I don't think that's too much cause for concern in terms of fantasy, but just something to throw at you guys. I think what happens is the Cowboys defense is just a little bit better. I think they execute maybe 1 or 2 plays a little bit better, and that ends up being the difference. I don't want it to be. I do think the Cowboys win, but I don't think they cover. I would take the Giants and the points for that one.
All right. That's fair. And
I mean, to be honest, I didn't even really think about this game because I knew you two were going to take it. To be completely honest, but no, I agree. I agree with Nikki. I think Dallas's defense is a little bit better. I'm not sure if the Jets would. I'm sorry, the Jets. Jesus, wrong team, Deb. The Giants will be able to really handle it. As much as I don't like Jack, I think the Cowboys are going to take this one. And I agree with George. I think the difference is going to be about 5.
Yeah, unfortunately. We got one more. George, you have to run, or can you stay for one more?
No, let's do it.
All right, let's do Bills, Jets. I'm excited for this one. I really, really, really am. Deb, you look super excited.
I mean,
go for it.
Star-studded opener. I mean, Bills, Jets. The Bills are currently 2-point favorites. We'll see. We'll see what happens. First of all, it's going to be really super weird to see Aaron Rodgers in a Jets uniform. Yeah. I first of all have to get over that. But I love Sauce Gardner. Don't love Rodgers, but he's an amazing quarterback. Love Josh Allen, and yeah, we'll see. I think the Bills take it. I think it's not going to be by much, maybe by a point or 2.
Ooh.
What do you guys think?
All right, you want me to go? Or
yeah, go ahead.
So, Aaron Rodgers created a lot of hype for this team, rightfully so. He's very good, just the way he's been maneuvering and this whole soap opera thing and blackout trips or whatever he's calling. Just all kind of stuff that, he's built up this thing about it. So he's created a lot of hype. You got the defense of the Jets talking a lot of trash now, comparing themselves with 85 Bears and all this. Man, so they're just laying it all on the line like this. But I think what they're forgetting is there's still this other guy on the other side named Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and all the other things that they just kind of managed to put together. New tight end with, or not new, but Kincaid, coming in.
Right.
And just the way they're able to move the ball. Now I know they, I don't know if they split last year or what happened with the games. I don't really remember what it was, but I think the Bills are seasoned. They know how to win. They've played in big games. They've lost some big games, and I think that's going to give them an advantage over the Jets, just because they've been there. They know it's a big game. Jets ain't really had that yet, so they don't know how to win this type of game. Even with Aaron Rodgers be there, he can't get those guys there. So I think it'll be a good game, but I think that I'm taking the Bills to cover, actually, just because I think they'll have a little bit more juice. Not a high-scoring game, but I got 23-19 Bills win this game.
I'm going to go with the Jets, guys. I think the Jets are putting together a really dominating defense. I know the Bills have been remixing their offense there a little bit. My issue with the Bills is they rely way too much on Josh Allen. And newsflash, you don't have to. You don't have to. I don't know why they keep doing that. I think Aaron Rodgers puts the AFC on notice. I have a Jets 23-20, and that is one of my best bets. I'm going to take the Jets on the 2.5. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of curious to see. I don't know how. I'm worried about them a little bit because you don't know what Breece Hall is going to be like. You don't know what Dalvin Cook, if he's really going to fit into what they're trying to do. So I think that could pose a problem if they can't get their run game together, the Jets. Meaning, if they do have to rely on Aaron Rodgers trying to be on the same page with all of his receivers, him and Garrett Wilson. Okay, yeah. I'm playing Garrett Wilson. If you ask me in fantasy, I think you start him, and he's going to throw him the ball a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's one of his favorite targets. So the three bets that I like this week, like I said, I like the Jets. I'll take the 2.5. I'll take the Giants and the 3. And I like the under at 39.5 for Falcons Panthers. You guys have any bets that stick out to you that you love this week?
George, go ahead.
No, I can't even say that I've studied enough of it. Okay. I've been telling some fibs on that. Look, I'm in 9 fantasy leagues. That's all I've been watching. I'm going to try to get all these things together and try to win those. But no, I haven't really looked at any betting lines. But this has been great and fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing how I do. So are we all? Is there any way did we all pick where we could tie? Did we do that or no?
No, because I took the Jets, right? So I don't think we can tie.
Yeah, I guess we went off of that, but I went on the limb and took.
You took the Steelers too, right?
The Steelers. So we'll see. I plan on you tweeting at me and hitting me on IG a little bit later and saying, "All right, Coach Teague, you were victorious again."
Here we go. Get out of here and get on your show. Thanks for coming on the
Cowboys.
Thank
Just
you.
like the Cowboys will be victorious, Teague will be victorious too.
Oh my God! All right,
coming on, and of course, roll tide.
Roll tide.
Roll tide, of course.
I was going to say
the word of the night on your podcast. Roll tide. Bye, George. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on. All right, Deb. Well, we will see what happens there. Any bets stick out to you this week that you like?
I mean, you know, I'm not a huge bettor.
I know, but I didn't know if you had one that you were loving as we were going through everything.
Not in the. We could do that next week. I'll have a couple for week 2.
All right. Well, you know what I do have for you this week? I have a WTF DM of the week.
Did you buy those pants on sale? Because they're 100% off at my place. My lips are like Skittles and you're about to taste the rainbow. Are you a parking ticket? Because you have fine written all over you.
I'm dying to know what this is, but I've heard about it all week.
Courtney, what's up? Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, I know. All right. I picked the Eagles win. We all picked the Eagles. I picked the Eagles. All right. I got you. I'm the realistic Giants fan. That's what somebody called me last night. So
I feel like I'm a realistic Eagles fan too.
You are. That's what I like. Well. And Courtney's very realistic too. I know you guys have worked together, and I don't like these delusional fans. That's where I just lose my shit. Like
jealous, but.
So I get this DM, and I mean, I don't know who this person is. It felt like very spammy, right? Like the prince of, one of these countries is trying to get you to send your bank account.
All your money, yeah.
So I get this DM, and it's this gentleman asking me to fly to go meet him because he's in the market for a sugar baby and would like to pay me $5,000 a month. And so I obviously didn't respond, and I laughed about it.
Agencies for that? Isn't there
you could I'm sure someone could negotiate or broker that deal for you. But then, Deb, this is what I thought. 5,000. I mean, am I coming in at like starting money? Like, I don't know. Should I be insulted by that? What is a good starting rate for a sugar baby? Is it 5,000 a month?
That actually sounds kind of cheap, to be honest.
I know. I know, right?
I don't mean it to be. But yeah, I would think like 5,000. Yeah, I mean 5,000
a month.
A week. I don't know. I just know, and I just know with Playboy, the Hef's girlfriends going back here, but they got like it was either between 1,500 or 3,000 a week, and not that they were sugar babies per se, but kind of. So yeah, I mean 5,000 a month. You said 5,000 a month, right?
5,000 a month. So it's
that's not that much.
I was insulted by the DM, and then I was like,
wait,
a little more insulted that it's like 5,000 a month, right? And then I'm like, oh, that sounds cheap. Am I cheap? I don't know. Yeah. So then that was something for me to think about there. But yeah, you know what? There is no shortage of WTF tweets and DMs here.
Yeah. Just hit delete on that one and move on.
Yeah, I did. That one was okay, delete. But then, of course, I started thinking, like, what's the progression of a sugar baby? Do you start at 5,000 a month and then you end up being a yacht girl? I don't know.
And what exactly do you need to do for $5,000 a month? Like, what other regulations? Is that I don't need to know the specifics. Please don't write me. But
you're gonna get a bunch of DMs. Deb, this is what you need to do in order to be. Cole's right, 60K a year. I don't know, Cole. I feel like that's cheap. That's a little too cheap for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, but
no, I couldn't do it either. But what we can do is get really excited for week one. We appreciate you guys so much for joining us. We will be here, of course, every Wednesday, bringing you great guests that are going to play Pick'em against us. I sincerely hope George does not win this week because I can't take it anymore. He comes on every show I have and ends up winning and then gloating as
I love it.
A lot of Cowboy fans. So you guys, please make sure you head over to the Fantasy Sports Corporation YouTube channel, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button so that you know when we are live. We know it's tough to join us live, but you can always watch us at any time. We'll have our clips up there for you guys. And again, make sure you use code BLONDE for Underdog Fantasy, and we will hook you up there. All right. Until next week, everybody, we will see you then. Go Giants.
Go Brady.